the new Google Pixel 3 XL. And this has been a very talked about phone. I mean, this thing got leaked like crazy. I did a video on the final design back in May where I showed you guys exactly how the Pixel 3 XL was going to look like, and spoiler, Google has not trolled us at the event like the ad suggested. They hinted at the possibility of, unveiling a completely new Pixel with no notch, no bezels. But yeah, in the end, it was exactly like in the leaks. Essentially what Google meant by those ads was that we didn't know everything in terms of the software experience, and I have to say, there were quite a few surprises. So yeah, here's not my full review, but my 2-week experience, my 2-week review of the Pixel 3 XL. I do want to spend a few more weeks with this before giving you my full review, but yeah, until then, my 2-week experience with the Pixel 3 XL. So grab some snacks, and yeah, this is a pretty interesting device. Okay, so I should probably start off with showing you what we get inside the box, because we do get pretty much everything you could ask for. Also, I do love the way the box of the Pixel 3 looks like. We get this really nice clean design on the front, and then we get the side of the Pixel 3 on the right hand side of the box, and then Team Pixel on the back. One of my favorite smartphone unboxing experiences yet. And then inside, we get a SIM eject tool, we get a quick start guide, we even get some stickers now, #Team Pixel, alongside the warranty and the safety guide. We also get a USB Type-C to USB Type-C charging cable, good guy Google, a 3.5mm to USB Type-C headphone jack adapter, good guy Google again, and we also get a USB Type-C to USB Type-A adapter so that you can connect a USB drive or even an iOS device to this and transfer your data. And then we also get the USB Type-C power adapter, which yes, does support fast charging, unlike Apple. And then also for the first time with a Pixel phone, we actually get some headphones now, the Pixel Buds, which do look very similar to Apple's EarPods, Apple's own headphones, if you take a look at the inside of the headphones themselves. So yeah, compared to last year, we do get a pair of headphones, but a phone is £20 in the UK more expensive than last year, so you're basically already paying extra for those headphones anyways, so yeah. But okay, is it good? How was my 2-week experience with this phone? Well, the first thing that I've actually noticed when using the Pixel 3 XL was actually the back. I mean, wow, I'm not even exaggerating, this is the best feeling back on any smartphone that I've had, and trust me, I've had a lot of smartphones. So it's still glass, but it's got this coating which makes it feel very, very smooth. It's a very unique texture, I have to say, so it is a bit more slippery than something like an iPhone XS Max, but you don't get any smudges on this, especially on the white model. And then the sides are extremely nice as well. We have the lime green power button on the white version of the Pixel 3, and then the frame itself feels like ceramic. It's not ceramic, but it feels and looks like ceramic, almost identical to the ceramic version of the Apple Watch Series 3. And then since the back is now made out of glass, we also get wireless charging finally on a Pixel phone. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with how this phone feels and looks like from the back. By far my favorite phone in terms of how the back feels and how the side looks, especially on this white model. Also, fun fact, the SIM slot is now on the bottom. Okay, so what about the front? Well, the notch is there, and I have to say, it does look a bit smaller in person, but then there's no denying that this phone is basically a design mess from the front. I mean, yeah, you can hide the notch in software, but it kills the entire top portion of the display, so you cannot really have any icons there, and at the moment, you can do this from the developer options. So yeah, I really hope that Google adds an official way of doing this from the settings, something that does include, the icons as well. And then, fun fact number 2, when you hide the notch, the bezels actually end up being even thicker than on the Pixel 2 XL from last year. Also, here's something that actually triggered my OCD on this phone. So if you take a look at the top corners and the shape of those, they actually match the frame of the phone, so that's nice. But then take a look at the bottom ones, they don't. And then if you take a look at the notch, that one has a completely different curvature. So yeah, I don't know, it feels like the bottom portion of this phone was designed by one company, and then the top portion was designed by someone else entirely, a different company, and they never talked to each other. That's how this phone feels like. But okay, just like with the iPhone X, once you start using this for a few days, you'll actually forget that the notch is even there. Apart from when you're reviewing videos, yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun doing that. Okay, now leaving the notch and the front design aside, there's actually a lot of things that I do like a lot about this phone. So first off, the software experience is amazing. So everything is extremely fluid, and you also get the purest version of Android that you can get directly from Google. So this also means they want updates. Now, something else that I really love about this is the Haptic Engine. So not a lot of people actually talk about this, but the Pixel 3 has the best haptic engine on any Android smartphone by a long shot. So it's not as good as on the iPhone, but it does work for typing as well, which the iPhone 1 doesn't. So essentially you get this extremely realistic haptic feedback whenever you're typing something, and combined with the Google keyboard, which, yes, by the way, it does support autocorrection for multiple languages at the same time, which iOS doesn't, at least not for all languages. And for me personally, since I type in both English and Romanian, sometimes I actually combine them both in the same sentence. Pixel 3 has the best keyboard on any smartphone that I've used, and that's by a huge margin, by the way. So yeah, best keyboard, the best Android experience in terms of updates and simplicity, and also the ugliest design on the front. So is there anything unique about this phone? Well, the camera is good, like really good. Mostly the processing on this thing. So especially the front camera, by the way, it's the best one on any smartphone by a huge margin. And then we also have the wide angle mode, the wide angle lens actually, for when you want to take group selfies. However, it is not a perfect camera, so you cannot do 4K 60 video like you can on pretty much every other flagship smartphone in 2018. And then panoramas are really, really low res, like really low res, 5 megapixels compared to like 65 megapixels, which you have on the iPhone, so huge difference. And then night sight, which Google has showcased at the event, it's not out yet. So yeah, the camera is really good, but it's still a work in progress, so it will be even better with upcoming updates. Now, if you want to learn more about a camera, I've done multiple Ultimate ZONEofTECH camera comparisons between the Pixel 3 and the iPhone XS Max and the Note 9, so do check those videos out for a full 20-minute review of the camera of the Pixel 3. But yeah, long story short, the camera is good. It's not the best one overall, but it should be much better with future updates. Other than that, the display itself is actually improved from the Pixel 2 XL from last year, so now we have a Samsung-made panel, and the blue shift problem that we had last year with the 2XL's LG panel is pretty much gone entirely now. So yeah, long story short, this is an amazing display. My only problem is that the display brightness is pretty low. So if you max this thing out, it's going to be considerably lower than something like a Note 9 or the iPhone XS Max's full brightness. So yeah, outdoors when it's sunny, you might have some issues reading off of this. Other than that, the speakers are even better than on the Pixel 2 XL, so they're richer and louder. So I got this mystery package from Google about 2 weeks ago or so. Actually, I got 2 boxes, a white one as well as a black one. We had a Pixel 3 XL in the black package, and then the Google Home Hub. And yeah, these are literally the main improvements that the Pixel 3 got. So yeah, as a conclusion, the Pixel 3 XL is essentially the iPhone of Android smartphones. So you get a clean UI with day one updates, you get a very fluid and very responsive experience with zero bloatware, it comes with a great camera, and you know, it just works like really, really well. The main problem is that it's quite expensive, and it does less than something like a Samsung Galaxy Note 9. It also comes with 4 GB of RAM, which for an Android phone is not enough in 2018. No, not even if you have stock Android on this thing. So even the Note 9, for example, it can keep more apps open in the background, and you know, it comes with an S Pen, a microSD card slot, and overall has way more features than the Pixel 3 XL at a similar price. But then with the Pixel 3 XL, you get a stock Android experience, you get day one updates, and honestly, I actually do prefer that. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Pixel 3, mostly the Pixel 3 XL, and yeah, do you think the notch is really an issue with this? I think it's really not. You'll forget about it. Yeah, overall, it's a pretty good phone. Again, it's the iPhone of Android. If you don't want to use iOS, you still want to use Android, but you want something that's, you know, fluid, you get day one updates, it's really fast, and you have no issues with it, in terms of the software at least, then yeah, that's pretty much the Pixel 3 XL. But yeah, thank you for watching. Definitely subscribe and notifications if you're new to the channel and you want to see more in-depth tech videos like this one. And also, guys, join the zone, tap that join button, and you support the channel, and you also get some exclusive perks, such as pinned comments and priority comments in live streams. By the way, I'm actually doing a live stream this Saturday, I think it's the 27th of October at 9 p.m. UK time, around 9 p.m. Or 1 p.m. PST. So yeah, definitely follow me on Twitter if you want to see some more updates in terms of the live stream. But yeah, that's going to be my experience with the iPhone XR live stream, the first public live stream on the channel that I've done in like 3 years. So yeah, thank you for watching. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, let me know. I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay tuned for the full review of the Pixel 3, which is coming out in maybe about a month. I want to spend more time with this. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys in my next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers.